Now on 4 News Now at 6, a flash flood watch sends people into a panic. What triggered fears that the Post Falls Dam could fail and why the message shouldn't have gone out in the first place.
We are live at Fred's Appliance in Spokane Valley, collecting coats for kids and tracking rain on the way in the first alert forecast.
And political signs stolen in Liberty Lake, why neighbors think it could be linked to an even bigger story. You're watching 4 News Now at 6.
You might have received this flood watch alert from the National Weather Service this morning saying flash flooding could be caused by a potential dam failure. Now, Avista says a crane tipped over at the Post Falls North Channel Dam, damaging part of the dam. Thanks for being with us tonight. I'm Kirsten O'Connor.
And I'm Derek Dice. The power company says there was no structural damage and there's no threat of the dam failing. Derek Strom is live in Post Falls after speaking with Avista and the National Weather Service.
Derek, Kirsten, it's been about 9 hours and the crane still hasn't been moved. Post Falls police say they responded to the incident this morning and says that there was never any threat of dam failure or flash flooding, but says the National Weather Service likely sent out that alert prematurely.
There was no immediate threat to the dam, no substantial damage to the gates or the concrete structure.
One person was hurt after a crane tipped over at the Post Falls North Channel Dam, and the flood watch the National Weather Service sent out shortly afterwards startled many people around the region. The plant operations manager at the dam says they contacted the National Weather Service before they could assess whether the dam was safe and warned them about possible dam failure, even though it was unlikely.
Nope, out of an abundance of caution, the personnel on site initiated that action plan before they could make an immediate inspection. It took some time to make the site safe so we could get out there and make sure that we could actually put eyes on it.
Bean says there was some damage to the railings along the dam, but there's no structural damage and no threat of dam failure or flash floods. But by the time the dam was inspected, the National Weather Service already sent out a flood watch mentioning possible dam failure. The NWS says it sent out the alert according to its procedure.
And so when there's a potential for a dam failure on our end, we issue a flash flood watch.
NWS meteorologist Daniel Butler also emphasized the difference between a watch and a warning. A watch in this case means there's no imminent danger, but there is a possibility of flash flooding. A warning is when flash flooding is imminent or already happening. The crane operator who was hurt in this incident has been taken to the hospital. Avista says is working on finding a safe way to remove the crane from the dam. Live in Post Falls, Derek Strom, 4 News Now.
Derek, thank you. Well, you'll want to keep your raincoat handy. We are getting some more rounds of rain soon.
That's right. Let's send it over to Chief Meteorologist Chris Crocker, who is tracking those showers tonight from Fred's Appliance off of Indiana in Spokane Valley.
That's right. We're going to be talking more about why I'm here and how you can still donate to Coats for Kids this evening at Fred's Appliance. But first, we are about 24 hours away from some rain on the way. 4 things to know about your weather. First of all, it is going to be a beautiful start to the day on Wednesday. Partly to mostly sunny skies. Will be a cool start, but we'll warm up nicely. We have rain coming in Wednesday evening. Actually more likely Wednesday night, and then it is going to be soggy off and on through the rest of the week and to a lesser extent over the weekend. And we do have mountain snow, that snow level dropping down into the 4,000 foot range. Could run into some slick spots on some of the area passes, especially if you were traveling late at night or early in the morning for the next several days. Meanwhile, let's take a look at your Wednesday planner. We're going to start the day off at 31 degrees. Watch for some slick spots on the road. We will not have as much widespread fog as we did this morning, but you may still run into some patchy areas around the region. A high of 51 is just about average with some sunshine to start, and then that rain starts moving in a little bit in the evening, and then it's really going to take off late tomorrow night into Thursday. There is more rain in the 7-day forecast, including on Halloween. I'll be back with that in just a few minutes.
All right, Chris, thanks so much. The streets of Spokane may be getting cleaner. Spokane Mayor Lisa Brown has proposed a new ordinance that would crack down on illegal dumping in the city.
So this would align with city code with the state law that says illegal dumping is a misdemeanor and could result in fines. Madeline Mullins is live just north of downtown. And Madeline, what did the city hope that this new ordinance will do for the people of Spokane?
Yeah, you can see all this trash behind me. This empty lot has just become a dumping ground for people's garbage, and the city says that they hope this ordinance will help educate people about what they can do if they see trash like this, and also send a message to people about the stiffer fines they may face if they are dumping garbage illegally. Vacant lots, alleys, and busy street corners are all places where the city says illegal dumping occurs, and places that people call their 311 number to report.
You know, we really rely on people calling 311 to report illegal dump sites to help us respond and inform us of how we should allocate our resources.
Aaron Hutt, who works for the city, says that those resources look like two different code enforcement teams that respond to illegal dumping calls.
What we often see is that we see the garbage and the litter move into like an alleyway or a shared space or move onto the sidewalk.
One team responds to different neighborhoods in Spokane, while the other, the homeless outreach team, responds to garbage that comes from illegal camping. Hutt says both teams try to approach the situation by the mindset education first.
To inform people of what's going on, what the situation is, what the penalties could be, working with them to try and come to a resolution. And then if it gets to the point where, you know, there's no progress, then there is an opportunity to go in and find those people.
Okay. To help with that education, the city has launched the Code Enforcement Dashboard, a dashboard that shows exactly how much garbage is being picked up.
So this is an opportunity for us to show folks, okay, we are responding to this many sites, this many are in progress, we are responding to your reports, and here's the outcome when it comes to total pounds or tons of garbage that are picked up.
The dashboard says that in 2023, 1.6 million pounds of garbage was picked up. So far in 2024, 1.2. But Hutt says that they are expecting that number to surpass the number from 2023.
This is really an inflection point for us to tell the community, you know, we're taking this issue seriously. We know that when we have a clean and safe downtown and a cleaner and safe neighborhoods, that people just feel safer overall.
Hutt tells me that she says she encourages everyone to call the 3119 if they're seeing any illegal dumping happening. She also says to check out that dashboard to see all the work the city is doing to pick up garbage off the street. In Spokane, I'm Madeline Mullins, 4 News Now.
All right, Madeline, thank you. Still ahead, Spokane officials reveal that families may be missing out on hundreds of dollars in tax breaks. Find out if your family qualifies in about 20 minutes.
Also, political signs disappearing in Liberty Lake. Could these thefts be part of a larger trend? Hear why neighbors believe there's more going on. Next on 4 News Now.
Download the KXLY Plus app on your connected TV.
It's a new season of Live with Kelly and Mark.
Weekdays at 9 a.m.
I spent my career in law enforcement, the last years as police chief. When it comes to keeping Washington safe, I trust Bob Ferguson.
Bob's top priority is public safety. His plan to hire more police officers is exactly what we need.
He'll create a statewide response unit to tackle the fentanyl crisis.
And he'll put the $1 billion he won from drug companies into treatment.
To help us protect Washington,
I trust Bob Ferguson.
Bob Ferguson for governor.
There are trucks, and then there's the GMC Sierra. Available with the connected driving experience. And the world's first 6-function multi-pro tailgate. GMC Sierra. It's the truck. Get 0% APR on select 2024 Sierra 1500 models. That's over $6,400 total value. Plus, no monthly payments until next year. ShopDaveSmith.com.
Life happens. Lucky for you, ICCU has a new kind of checking account that comes with benefits that help you life better. Because being human is a full-time job.
Why is liberal Carmilla Conroy mudslinging and stretching the truth?
Maybe it's to hide her extreme plans for an open border, drugs pouring into the country, and higher taxes. Conroy doesn't fit our district. Michael Baumgartner will protect our families, Social Security and Medicare, ensure veterans get the benefits they've earned, fight inflation, and make our neighborhoods safe by securing the southern border.
I'm Michael Baumgartner, and I approve this message.
This November, stay for less and play for more at the Kootenai Casino. It's time for an autumn getaway. Now is the perfect opportunity to come stay and win. Call us now to book your room starting at just $79 midweek and $99 weekends at the beautiful Kootenai Falls Lodge. And join us for a $10,000 giveaway, Tournament Tuesdays, and November Hot Spins. Put some extra stuffing in your pockets this November, only at the Kootenai Casino. Call 888-YOU-ARE-LUCKY or visit KootenaiRiverInn.com.
It just kind of felt like a little bit violating.
Political signs have been a target of theft and vandalism in Liberty Lake. The Liberty Lake Police Department says several campaign signs were stolen yesterday.
Police have been in contact with the people involved with yesterday's thefts and believe they were also caught on someone's Ring camera screaming a racial slur, though police do not think these thefts are racially motivated. Marissa Rio heard from victims of the recent thefts and shares their stories.
A lawn full of Halloween decorations, but something is missing. The woman who lives here says she had 2 Harris wall signs in the lawn, but they were stolen yesterday. Just across the street, her neighbor has Trump Vance signs up. The woman says she gets along with her neighbors despite their difference in political views. So it's unfortunate that someone from outside of the community decided to violate her personal freedoms. Police say at least one of the people involved in these thefts is from Kootenai County.
But this isn't the first time that something has happened like this here in Liberty Lake this election season. Separate from the incident that happened yesterday, the woman who lives in this house said she once had a political sign over in this garden bed near that white fence, but it was vandalized earlier this month.
This was her sign before, and this is what it looked like after.
But I just kind of had this this feeling, just kind of unsettled. It almost felt targeted because just like seeing a sign and taking out is one thing, but this was like, we're taking the sign, spray painting it, and then putting it in a different spot in the yard. It just seemed like more premeditated, I guess.
Then yesterday, she heard others in her community had their signs stolen.
I think that this election is different than it has been in the past, and people are a little bit more up in arms about things. So I wasn't surprised, but just, disappointed. It's too bad that this is happening.
Elizabeth Bighorse and her family have since replaced their sign.
We believe what we do, and we're going to put it out there and not be intimidated.
Bighorse said she did not contact Crime Check when her sign was vandalized. As for the signs that were stolen yesterday, Liberty Lake Police said they have had victims come forward today saying they do want to press charges, so police will be issuing citations. In Liberty Lake, Marissa Rio, 4 News Now.
Well, if you're a victim or if you've witnessed these recent thefts, call Crime Check at 509-456-2233.
As of this afternoon, about 154,000 ballots have been returned in Spokane County. That is about 41% of all the ballots that were sent out. We do want to remind you that you have until 8 p.m. November 5th to drop off your ballot in Washington or get in line to vote in Idaho. To find the closest ballot drop-off box or polling place nearest you, head to KXLY.com.
Well, hundreds of registered voters in Whitman County still haven't received their ballots. County Auditor Sandy Jamison tells me about 200 to 300 ballots are missing, and the majority of them are associated with post office boxes in the town of Garfield. Jamison says she's working with the Postal Service to find these missing ballots, saying, "My goal is to make sure that every Whitman County registered voter receives a ballot and has the opportunity to participate in this election. Anyone in Whitman County who has not received their ballot should call the county auditor's office."
And right now, federal investigators are searching for the person responsible for burning the ballots inside of this ballot box near Vancouver. Officials say this is the latest in a growing number of attacks on our democracy in recent weeks. CNN's Laura Aguirre explains what some states are doing to secure their counts.
There's been at least 3 fires so far, 1 in Portland, Oregon, and 2 in Vancouver, Washington. The fire in Vancouver destroyed hundreds of ballots, say state election officials, while a fire suppression system on the Portland drop boxes minimized damage there. Investigators found incendiary devices that they say connect the fires in both states. And they're looking for this suspect vehicle, an early 2000s dark-colored Volvo sedan with an unknown tag number and missing front plate. City and election officials in both Portland and Vancouver say they're bumping up police patrols and enhancing security around their ballot boxes going forward. Some states, like Nevada, are touting new technology to better protect the process.
Every mail ballot has an individual tracker barcode on it.
Poll worker safety also a high priority.
We passed the Election Protector Bill, which made it a felony to harass or intimidate election workers.
Arizona has invested millions of dollars into securing its tabulation centers.
We have added new fencing, badging, taken other measures to make sure that everyone is safe and they can focus on their important jobs.
A job already underway with millions of people voting early in most states.
So get in your vote now and then just have a seat on election night and watch your returns come in.
I'm Laura Aguirre reporting.
Well, Coeur d'Alene's Roosevelt Inn is saved and new homes are on the way.
But not everyone is thrilled about it. We'll explain why coming up.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
4 News Now is brought to you by Northern Quest Resort and Casino.
It's time for 4 News Now, Coats for Kids. Drop off new or gently used coats at any of our sponsored locations. We'll bring them to Alsco for professional cleaning, then get them out to local children in need. Donate Coats for Kids through October 31st.
Your locally owned Papa Murphy's is proud to be part of Coats for Kids this year.
Now through the end of October, bring in a coat donation to any Eastern Washington or North Idaho Papa Murphy's location.
And receive a $4 off coupon good for any large or family-sized pizza.
Maria Cantwell knows prices are too high and we have to fight back. That's why she passed a law to take on big oil traders spiking gas prices, and why she's fighting grocery store mergers that would lead to higher food prices. Cantwell also took on drug companies and won, capping insulin for seniors at $35 a month and capping seniors' out-of-pocket expenses.
I'm Maria Cantwell, and I approve this message because I'll take on anyone to protect Northwest consumers.
Experience frightfully good deals at Consign Furniture and Jewelry. Store-wide discounts with up to 70% off retail and all consigned, one-of-a-kind unique pieces. Plus, get 20% off all online purchases using promo code SPOOKY.
Consign Furniture. Easy way to sell, smart way to buy.
There are trucks, and then there's the GMC Sierra. Available with the connected driving experience. And the world's first 6-function multi-pro tailgate. GMC Sierra. It's the truck. Get 0% APR on select 2024 Sierra 1500 models. That's over $6,400 total value. Plus, no monthly payments until next year. See your local GMC dealer.
35 years ago, I started going to Planned Parenthood to help Washington women with pregnancy care, birth control, even cancer screening. But Dave Reichert tried to jeopardize that care. Reichert has voted repeatedly to defund Planned Parenthood. It's part of Reichert's years-long record, trying to ban abortion nationwide, including here in Washington. No politician should ever tell me that I don't have a right to make a decision regarding my body. Dave Reichert is wrong for governor.
Well, I guess you can start waxing and sharpening those snowboards and skis because winter is apparently right around the corner. As you can see on your screen here, Schweitzer Mountain received its first dusting of the season. And while we're still a few weeks away from shredding down the mountain, you might want to have those heavy coats ready because it is really starting to get cold.
It is, especially at night. Speaking of coats, only 2 more days left to donate in our annual Coats for Kids campaign. Let's send it over to Chief Meteorologist Chris Crocker. She's live at Fred's Appliance tonight. And Chris, you have a whole armful of coats.
And these just came in. Someone saw, a couple of gals saw the 5 o'clock news and ran these down. You still have time to come down to Fred's Appliance between now and 7 o'clock. I'll tell you more about that in just a moment. But first, let's talk about your weather. It is going to be a cold start to the day tomorrow. We're heading down to an overnight low of 31 degrees, clear skies and light winds tonight. It is a beautiful evening. Tomorrow we're going to start the day off with sunshine. The clouds will start increasing in the afternoon. The rain moves in late. 51 for a high, which is just about average. I want to show you the rainfall chance throughout the day tomorrow. Starts out at 0 and then starts to ramp up. May see a sprinkle late afternoon. More likely we'll see some showers developing in the evening and then rain developing as we head into the overnight. And there's more rain to come. Thursday, let's take a look at the 7-day forecast. Thursday, Halloween, a very good chance of rain. Right now, it looks like trick-or-treat time will be kind of hit and miss showers. There'll be some puddles, but we're fine-tuning that forecast as we get closer to time. We'll be in the 40s through the forecast, and it won't be long before we'll all need those heavy coats. So thank goodness Coats for Kids has been busy collecting coats, and we are at Fred's Appliance right now. And look who's with me, Amber from Fred's Appliance.
Yes.
And we're going to do a drawing in the next half hour. Tell us about the drawing, Amber.
Yes, very exciting. So everybody who's come down and donated a coat for Coats for Kids is entered into a drawing for the beautiful Electrolux Alpine Green washer and dryer set behind you. So we have the tickets right inside here, and we'll be drawing a ticket here shortly. So
that is exciting. And this is the first year that Fred's Appliance has done Coats for Kids, and we're so grateful for your sponsorship. Why is this a cause that you wanted to get involved with?
Well, as you said earlier, temperatures are dropping, and nobody feels the cold like a kid who doesn't have a warm coat. And so we really wanted to make sure that we can come together as a community and make sure that they don't have to endure the sting of the winter without a warm coat. And so not only are we providing them with a basic need, but we're also telling them a message of they are valued, they are cared for, and they are supported by their community. So.
Oh, that is
really
lovely. So, well, Fred's Appliance is open till 7. If you are in the Valley area and you zip down with a coat donation, you can get in on this drawing. We're going to be drawing in the next half hour. We will also sell you a washer and dryer, and you can wash up all your coats and then donate them. It looks like this washer could handle a heavy coat or two.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Okay, so we'll be back with more from Fred's Appliance and see who gets to take this beautiful set home. We were not eligible, Kirsten and Derek. I checked. We don't get to be in the drawing.
I'm shocked.
Bummer. All right. Well, if your favorite Halloween candy has chocolate in it, you're probably paying more for it and getting less.
Yeah, higher costs for sugar and cocoa have boosted the cost of chocolate in recent years, and confectioners need to keep up. CNN's Karen Kafa breaks down the numbers.
This Halloween, your favorite chocolate treat may seem a little smaller, or there may be fewer in the bag.
If people want chocolate, it's still going to be there. Production is still going, but it's just going to cost more.
That's because of the supply of a key ingredient, cocoa. David Branch of Wells Fargo's Agri-Food Institute says recent years have brought tough growing conditions to West Africa, responsible for more than 70% of the world's cocoa supply.
The major cocoa producing region of West Africa has essentially had 3 years of declining production in crops due mainly to multiple weather events that just seem to be piling on.
The International Cocoa Organization projected in August that global cocoa production this season would fall by 14.2%. The supply squeeze felt by major confectioners who had also dealt with higher sugar prices before they fell back this year.
We've seen sugar prices this year drop from the highs we've seen the last 2 years, so that's a positive note for this.
So confectioners have been more creative this Halloween, swapping out layers of chocolate for things like wafers and nuts, combining chocolate and non-chocolate items in variety bags, and making treats a little smaller. The good news for chocolate lovers, weather conditions have improved for this year's crops, which will eventually boost supply. And when that cocoa supply does go up, chocolate prices should go down. Experts project cocoa prices will remain high at least until September 2025 before they decrease. In Washington, I'm Karen Kafa.
Cases of walking pneumonia are on the rise amongst kids. The signs to look out for and what doctors say you can do to lower the chances of your child getting sick. That's coming up next.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
In celebration of Veterans Day, 4 News Now and BECU would like to honor those who've served our country. Go to KXLY.com, submit a photo and a short write-up on a veteran or military member. 4 News Now, honoring our heroes. Brought to you by BECU.
Initiative 2124. It's purposely misleading. So here's what you need to know. Independent analysts say if I-2124 passes, it will bankrupt our affordable long-term care benefit, leaving millions of Washingtonians with no options but private insurance that charges way too much and routinely denies coverage to millions with pre-existing conditions. Don't let it happen. Protect your long-term care benefits. Vote no on I-2124.
Which is better, Honda or Toyota? Well, the Honda Accord and CR-V both made the Car and Driver 10 Best list. Camry and RAV4 did not. In fact, when it comes to the 10 Best, no one comes close to Honda, the only company to make every single 10 Best list. That means Honda's not just better, it's the best. And right now, well-qualified buyers can get the Honda CR-V with 2.9% APR financing. So for big deals on America's best brand, see your Inland Northwest Honda dealer.
Jared Sessler is Mr. 30%. Sessler wants a 30% national sales tax on everything. New house? Under Sessler's plan, you pay 30% more. New car? 30% more. Bacon, eggs, milk? 30%. Healthcare, gas, electric, cell phone bills? You pay 30% more. Jared Sessler, Mr. 30%. Is there anything he won't tax? National Interest Action is responsible for the content of this advertising.
So, what's Oprah excited to share with you?
Okay, people, can you say deals and steals on my favorite things?
This week, only on
Good Morning, America. Let's do this.
Our community is at extreme risk for wildfire, from Lake Tahoe Valley to Indian Trail to the West Plains.
The firefighters of Spokane County endorse Molly Marshall because she knows what we need to make our community safe. She'll fight for missing infrastructure like fire stations and safe roads.
You deserve transparent government that will help keep your homes insurable and your families and neighbors safe.
Join us and vote for Molly Marshall on November 5th because responsible leadership matters.
4 News Now is brought to you by Monster Jam at the Spokane Arena November 8th through the 10th.
Would you like to have a roll in the hay? Roll in the hay.
Terry Garr, the quirky comedy actor who rose from background dancer in Elvis Presley movies to co-star of such favorites as Young Frankenstein, Tootsie, and Mr. Mom, has died. According to her publicist, Garr died of multiple sclerosis, surrounded by family and friends. She battled other health problems in recent years and underwent an operation in January 2007 to repair an aneurysm. She was 79 years old.
Well, according to the CDC, cases of walking pneumonia are on the rise among young kids. Experts say they're not sure what's causing the rise in cases, but it likely has something to do with kids being back in school. Cases of walking pneumonia are typically mild, but can be severe. Symptoms include dry cough, fever, fatigue, headache, and sore throat. Treatment options also vary based on the type of pneumonia. As for prevention, doctors encourage parents to get their kids vaccinated against bacterial pneumonia and the flu, which can actually cause pneumonia. Unfortunately, there is no vaccine specifically for walking pneumonia. In addition to those vaccines, doctors advise getting your child vaccinated for COVID-19 and immunized for RSV if eligible. And still ahead, how the city of Spokane plans on spending $250,000 that could result in more money in your pocket. Stay with us.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
During our spectacular savings event, save up to $15,000 off or 0% APR on a new GMC Sierra 1500. There are never any dealer-added markups on new vehicles. And ask about our 3-day return and 7-day exchange at GMC of Riverfront Park.
I'm Carmela Conroy, and my story starts here. Grandpa was a union mason on the Grand Coulee Dam. Dad worked on the Great Northern Railway. We were raised to look out for our neighbors. That's why, as a Spokane County deputy prosecutor, I held violent offenders accountable. As a Foreign Service officer, I worked in conflict zones. We need leaders in Congress who will stand up for veterans and military families. I'm Carmela Conroy, and I approve this message.
As a U.S. Navy veteran, I fought for our freedom and our right to vote. But today, independent voters can't vote in the elections I fought to protect. Over 275,000 Idahoans, including thousands of veterans, are blocked from voting in our primary elections, all because they were closed by party insiders and special interests. Proposition 1 respects veterans like me by opening Idaho's primaries, ensuring every Idaho taxpayer has the right to vote. That's what I fought for, and that's how it ought to be.
When I was told I needed radiation treatment for a brain tumor, I couldn't stop thinking about what could happen to my memories. Those moments I cherish from growing up, of finding myself, of the people I love, of what I've created. Could they all just fade away? But when I learned how precise treatment was with Gamma Knife, I was reassured that those moments would be preserved. Because it's not only about protecting the memories I've made, but the ones I have yet to create.
We're calling it November.
November.
Because we're all voting no on Initiative 2117.
No, I don't want funding cuts for our roads.
No, I don't want to increase the risk of wildfires.
No, I don't want to hurt small businesses like mine.
No, I don't want cuts to public transit.
No, I don't want to put our clean air at risk.
We all know the threats of 2117.
And we're all
voting no this November.
During our spectacular savings event, save up to $8,500 off for 3.9% APR on a new Sierra 2500 HD Pro. There are never any dealer-added markups on new vehicles. And ask about our 3-day return and 7-day exchange at GMC of Riverfront Park.
Live from downtown Spokane, this is 4 News Now at 6:30.
Welcome back. Are you one of those people missing out on a tax credit you've yet to claim?
The city of Spokane is doubling down on efforts to make sure more families are aware of a new tax credit program directed for lower to moderate income families that thousands of people are currently missing out on. Alexandra Conyars explains if you can still take advantage of this tax credit.
Derek and Kirsten, one can still submit an application and see if you qualify up to 3 years from when the federal tax returns were due. In Spokane, more than 17,000 families have not yet taken advantage of this program, which can give you a credit of more than $1,000. A new campaign from the city hopes to address this lack of participation by launching a new effort to raise awareness. Nearly 30,000 people in Spokane County are eligible for the working family tax credit, but less than half have claimed it.
In our case, we use it for our kids to buy shoes, clothes, or any school supplies.
Guillermo Wences was able to get the credit through the help of Nuestros Raíces, a Hispanic-led organization in Spokane. Here's a look at a chart showing the income limit to qualify. If you have no children and are single, the maximum amount you can get is $315. If you have 3 children, the maximum amount you can get is $1,255.
It could help them, catch up on bills. Anything that they need that they might not be able to accomplish at the time economically is going to be a huge help.
The City of Spokane announced it's partnering with local organizations to raise awareness and encourage participation of this program. It is putting $250,000 of COVID relief funding towards a campaign that will include new ads, funding for local events, and individualized tax assistance.
The most important thing that I see is that tax services aren't applying for it. They're not actually helping Spokane residents or Washington residents, or they're charging them a lot of money to do a simple application, which we're doing for free.
The city says the credit aims to address inequities in the state's tax system. For those like Wences, it made the difference he needed during a time of struggle.
At that time we were struggling with financially, so it was great.
You can find out if you qualify for the tax credit by taking out your phone and scanning the QR code you see on your screen. That will take you to our KXLY website where you can find more information on how to find out if you are eligible. In case you missed the code, you can find that link on KXLY.com. Live in studio, Alexandra Conyards, 4 News Now.
Alexandra, thank you. We have a few rounds of rain on the way.
And it could mess up your Halloween plans. Our Chris Crocker is tracking the storms for us live tonight from Fred's Appliance in Spokane Valley. Chris?
We are about 24 hours away from the start of rain, and once it starts, this is a La Nina year, and we're getting into the wet season. November is our second wettest month next to December. Once the storms start, they are going to just come one after another. So enjoy this next 24 hours of dry, pretty fall weather. 4 things to know about your weather. We do have a beautiful, dry night tonight. Mostly sunny skies to start the day on Wednesday. The rain comes in Wednesday night. The best chance will be late Wednesday night, but we may have a few sprinkles in the evening as well. And then it is going to be a soggy rest of the week with mountain snow, the snow level dropping down to around 4,000 feet. In your planner for tomorrow, we'll start the day off at 31 degrees. We'll be down below freezing in most locations around the inland northwest, heading up to a high of 51, which is just about average, with that chance of rain kicking in around 5 o'clock. And it looks like we have a lot more rain on the way for Halloween. Plan accordingly for your trick-or-treaters. I'll be back with your 7-day forecast. Plus, we are going to be drawing for the winner of this gorgeous Electrolux washer and dryer. It is not me. It might be you if you donated here at Fred's Appliance. That's coming up in just a few minutes. Derek and Kirsten.
Thank you, Chris. Well, tonight, the Spokane Fire Department is mourning the loss of one of their own. According to the department, Josh Rhodes died from cancer. He had been battling it for more than 5 years. He joined the department in 2017. The department described Rhodes as a beloved colleague and friend who worked with a selfless willingness to help. He is survived by his wife and 2 children.
Well, the future of Coeur d'Alene's historic Roosevelt Inn is almost decided. A developer from Western Washington has submitted a proposal to buy the property that the city and the Historical Preservation Commission support. The proposal saves the inn, but the community is now not happy with how many families will move into downtown. Our Hunter Bertram explains.
For 7 years, the owners of the Roosevelt Inn have been trapped in a waiting game trying to secure a buyer for this property. But every time the finish line seemed only an arm's length away, it's fallen through.
There was a lot of concern back in March and April when this first came to fore, that, we could lose a building like this.
A petition then came about to save the building, gathering over 6,000 signatures, which scrapped a buyer's proposal. Now a new proposal has emerged.
We have huge housing challenges in the community, as this whole area does. People love moving to the area, and then also people that live here that are already looking for housing, so it does help meet that need, especially this site here.
Blue Fern Development has agreed to buy the property while preserving the historic Roosevelt Inn as required by the city.
It makes me feel great if we could get it done.
Yet many are still unhappy despite the inn being saved, saying the number of units that will be built here is, as Jenny on Facebook put it, a joke. 38 townhome-style units will be built on the less than 1.5-acre property. And because of the preservation of decades-old trees, in the inn, it's
allowing them to have increased density on the project, which is allowed by code. So again, that's really not up for discussion.
She's talking about a public hearing scheduled for Wednesday, which has ignited a wave of online backlash triggered by these city signs that spread the message of the hearing. And at Wednesday's public discussion on this property, there's not going to be discussion on stopping this project. They say it's most likely going to happen. The only input from the community is on the design plan for the property.
Progress is inevitable. We need to change, we need to grow, all of those things. But we also need to remember where we came from, what our roots are, and preserve the history of this city.
In Coeur d'Alene, Hunter Bertram, 4 News Now.
Renewing your car registration in Idaho is about to get a little bit easier. The Idaho Transportation Department is launching a new phone queue dedicated to renewals. This feature is meant for those who can't make it to the DMV but would rather talk to a real person instead of trying to do it online. Well, local drivers are rejoicing as Bigelow Gulch Road is open after months of delays and closures.
Yeah, the final phase is complete after almost 30 years, making many Spokane County drivers' morning commutes much easier. This project first started in 1997 as a way to reduce traffic congestion and make the area safer. And since then, the county has worked in phases to widen, straighten, and improve the roadway. Now that the final phase is finished, the road will connect North Spokane, Spokane Valley, and I-90, and eventually the North-South Freeway. The project cost was almost $75 million. Part of the funding came from the U.S. Department of Transportation, Federal Highway Administration, Washington State Department of Transportation, and the County Road Administration Board.
Well, the Idaho Department of Lands is working to stop the spread of an invasive moth species detected in Sandpoint. According to the department, it captured a moth confirmed to be a European spongy moth. It's the first time this kind of moth has been found in the area in over 30 years. The problem is these kinds of moths feed on leaves, especially the ones on oak trees. The Department of Lands says they can cause millions of dollars in damage if an outbreak occurs.
Well, as we head to break, a live look over downtown Spokane. We will be back very shortly with the winner of that brand new washer and dryer, courtesy of Fred's Appliance. Chris Crocker will have that drawing for you next on 4 News Now.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
4 News Now is brought to you by Summit Cancer Center.
Many great careers don't need a 4-year degree. They start out here. Bob Ferguson has a detailed plan to expand apprenticeships and on-the-job training like I had to give more Washingtonians the skills they need to succeed. And Bob will eliminate 4-year degree requirements for most state jobs, opening doors to more good-paying careers. I would support Bob Ferguson, even if he wasn't my kid brother, but it helps he listens to old machinists like me.
Bob Ferguson for governor.
There are trucks, and then there's the GMC Sierra, available with the connected driving experience and the world's first 6-function multi-pro tailgate. GMC Sierra. It's the truck. Get 0% APR on select 2024 Sierra 1500 models. That's over $6,400 total value, plus no monthly payments until next year.
See your local GMC dealer.
BECU and 4 News Now are teaming up for the Great American Flag Swap. On November 8th, bring your old tattered flag to BECU, and in exchange, you'll receive a new flag with help from Uncle Sam's Flag and Gift.
This November, let's thank veterans and military families who are serving.
BECU is proud to be part of the Great American Flag Swap. We're honored to live in a community that supports veterans and military families who sacrifice for the benefit of us all. Visit us in Spokane and see what banking is like when people come first. BECU, not for profit, equals more for people.
Why is liberal Carmilla Conroy mudslinging and stretching the truth? Maybe it's to hide her extreme plans for an open border, drugs pouring into the country, and higher taxes. Conroy doesn't fit our district. Michael Baumgartner will protect our families, Social Security and Medicare, ensure veterans get the benefits they've earned, fight inflation, and make our neighborhoods safe by securing the southern border.
I'm Michael Baumgartner, and I approve this message.
Next ET, it's Halloween week from Universal Studios Hollywood. Dancing with the Stars, Jen and Sasha get spooked. Plus, from Happy's Place, Melissa Peterman stops by.
Watch 4 News Now at 6 and Entertainment Tonight at 7:30.
It's a contentious election, often not suitable for young eyes and ears.
That, to me, was really shocking.
And political messages can show up in unexpected places. How can you help your kids feel safe? Watch Thursday on 4 News Now at 6. We only have 2 days left to donate a new or gently used coat to our annual Coats for Kids campaign. You have until the 31st or Halloween to drop off those new or slightly used coats at one of our donation sites.
Yeah, Chris Crocker is at one of those collection sites, Fred's Appliances in Spokane Valley. And Chris, they are giving people a little bit extra incentive to donate, and you're about to pick a winner.
That is right. Fred's Appliance has generously donated this gorgeous washer and dryer. And Amber, we had some last-minute people running in with coats just in the last 5 minutes to get in on this.
Yes, and we're ready to draw. So, Brandon, do you want to open it up and give it a little twirl for me?
We got the whole Fred's gang here. Oh, yeah, they do.
Just stick it
All
back
right.
in there.
And not everyone that donated a coat was expecting to be in the drawing or got in the drawing. It's been such a great turnout here. Oh, you got a winner.
I've got a winner. Derek Dice. Oh, never mind. Sorry, Derek. You're not eligible.
Not Derek Dice.
The real winner is Meg Hall.
Ooh.
Meg Hall, you have just won a beautiful Electrolux laundry set. Congratulations.
Good job, Meg. And well, that is beautiful. And you can come buy one now. You'll want it. They're gorgeous washers and dryers. And you can continue to donate at Fred's Appliance for the next couple of days. They will show you some beautiful things. My favorite thing was the washer and dryer that does it all in one unit.
Yes.
Yes, you'll want one of those. So come on down and visit Fred's Appliance, and you might want to come inside and be warm over the next couple of days, because we have some iffy weather on the way. Now tonight, mostly clear skies, an overnight low of 31 degrees with light winds. For tomorrow, a high of 51. Mostly sunny to start the day, then the clouds will increase in the afternoon, and we've got some rain moving in with some soggy weather. Taking a look at our chance of rain on Wednesday, most of the day is going to be dry. It's not until about the time of the evening commute we'll start to see our first chance of showers, but the steady rains then come in as we get into the overnight and into Halloween Thursday. 7-day forecast. We have a very good chance of rain on Halloween. So looks like trick-or-treaters at the very least will have some puddles to jump and some wet leaves stuck to their costumes, but you might also experience some showers. Right now it looks like the best chance for trick-or-treaters to get rained on will be down on the Palouse. Temperatures in the 40s for highs, and we will see some mountain snow up at pass level from time to time. So you'll want to check your pass reports before you hit the road. Big thank you to Fred's Appliance, our new sponsor this year with Coats for Kids. You've collected a ton of coats. You've given one of your generous customers a beautiful washer and dryer, and we just appreciate you all so much. And pretty exciting also to meet Amber in person. I feel like we should have the tag. I didn't ask you to do the tagline at all. Can we just have one, only appliances?
Of course. Fred's Appliance. We sell appliances. Only appliances.
Oh my gosh, I love it. And I am going to go get myself a GE monogram set before I come back to the station.
All right, Chris, thank you so much. Well, losing a loved one is difficult, but adding to that are funeral expenses, which can be nearly $10,000 and easily much more if you're required to have a vault to place the casket.
Consumer Reports' Nadia Torres explains you don't have to break the bank to have a meaningful farewell.
After losing her father unexpectedly, Scarlett was overwhelmed by grief and the funeral costs.
Just the ground itself, the casket, there's vaults involved, there's all these different things that I didn't know about.
It is staggering. Median funeral costs in the U.S., including a casket, viewing, and burial, top $8,300 in 2023.
It's essential to know that you have choices. So look at the prices at several local funeral homes and then pick the option that best suits your needs and budget.
One of the biggest expenses is often the casket, usually sold by the funeral home for around $2,500. But how about ordering one from Walmart or Amazon? The Federal Trade Commission requires funeral homes to accept caskets purchased elsewhere without charging you an extra fee. If you have chosen cremation for your loved one, you can forgo a viewing and choose direct cremation to keep costs lower. You can still hold a memorial service later at the funeral home, house of worship, or even at home. Many of us put it off, but planning ahead can also help.
You can open a final expenses bank account to start putting money aside. You might also be tempted to pay in advance, but this can be risky if the funeral home closes or your family's unaware that you've already paid.
And as Scarlett says, have an honest conversation with your loved ones.
I know it's something that we don't ever want to talk about. It's just you're trying to be ready because you want to make sure that you honor them the way they want to be honored.
This is Nadia Torres.
Well, around the Northwest now, it's been a little more than a week since 5 members of one family were found dead in Falls City, Washington. Authorities say a 15-year-old boy is behind the murders of his family, while lawyers defending him say they need access to the home to do their own investigation. The boy is said to have killed his parents along with 3 siblings, ages 7, 9, and 13. The alleged shooter called 911 himself, telling police it was his younger brother who shot the family and then killed himself. Investigators say that story didn't add up, though, and they arrested the 15-year-old boy. His story was contradicted by his 11-year-old sister, who was shot but survived. Washington State Patrol crime scene investigators spent 2 days documenting the crime scene. The house was turned back over to the victim's relatives on Wednesday. But this weekend, the defense successfully petitioned the courts to lock down the scene until they could get eyes on it themselves.
It is their job to investigate this case. They have a duty and an obligation constitutionally to do so. They have a duty and an obligation for their client to make sure that, and I understand, the Washington State Patrol's been through it, your forensic experts have been through it. They have the right to conduct an investigation of their own.
Officials say the defense will only be allowed to take pictures of the scene, not collect any physical evidence.
Well, around the nation, the Biden administration is investing to improve port infrastructure across 24 states.
Ports are the linchpin to America's supply chain. They keep goods moving, keep the economy strong.
President Biden says the funding from the Inflation Reduction Act will vastly improve and electrify port infrastructure at 55 sites nationwide. Officials say while ports are a major economic driver, they're also a major source of pollution for workers and surrounding communities.
But for too long, they've run on fossil fuels and aging infrastructure, putting workers at risk and exposing nearby communities to dangerous pollution. Studies show more childhood asthma, lung disease, and heart disease and cancer in folks who live close to ports.
The investment is also meant to support about 40,000 union jobs. Earlier this month, dock workers going on strike at dozens of critical ports around the U.S., demanding better pay and eventually coming to a tentative agreement with the U.S. Maritime Alliance, which represents the ports.
All right, before we head to a break, here is a look at ABC's primetime lineup for tonight.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
When you say let's go to breakfast, you mean let's go to McDonald's. Obviously.
Have a mix and match morning with any 2 breakfast classics when you buy one, get one for just $1.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
I'm Mark Peterson, the Extreme Team and Horizon Credit Union, ready to take on our next job. If you know of a project that needs an Extreme Team makeover, go to KXLY.com to nominate it. Our thanks to Horizon Credit Union for sponsoring the 4 News Now Extreme Team.
Maria Cantwell knows prices are too high and we have to fight back. That's why she passed a law to take on big oil traders spiking gas prices, and why she's fighting grocery store mergers that would lead to higher food prices. Cantwell also took on drug companies and won, capping insulin for seniors at $35 a month and capping seniors' out-of-pocket expenses.
I'm Maria Cantwell, and I approve this message because I'll take on anyone to protect Northwest consumers.
Get this party started.
It's Halloween on Dancing with the Stars.
I'm gonna have nightmares about you tonight.
So haunting. Halloween Nightmares on Dancing with the Stars, live tonight.
35 years ago, I started going to Planned Parenthood. They help Washington women with pregnancy care, birth control, even cancer screening. But Dave Reichert tried to jeopardize that care. Reichert has voted repeatedly to defund Planned Parenthood. It's part of Reichert's years-long record, trying to ban abortion nationwide, including here in Washington. No politician should ever tell me that I don't have a right to make a decision regarding my body. Dave Reichert is wrong for governor.
Say less, get more. Buy one, get one for $1. Choose from Bacon McDouble, McChicken, McDouble, or Hot and Spicy McChicken. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
More Americans choose ABC News, America's #1 news source.
Well, here's a look at some video of a brazen bear B&E. Look at that bear.
What are you doing, buddy?
He's in this garage in Alabama just looking around. Instead of stealing the expensive golf cart, he was going straight for the trash can. He looks like a human. Oh my goodness. He even tried to carefully wheel it out of the garage. Our producer Steven says the bear, if he's willing to make the trip to Washington, he could take out his trash anytime he wants.
Something smells good in that trash, for sure.
That's right. Well, today, students at Westview Elementary had a PE takeover from athletes with Parasport Spokane.
This is pretty cool. The organization gives training and professional opportunities to kids and adults with physical disabilities. Our Allison Martinez has the story.
You make it look so easy. Today, Westview fifth graders and local para-athletes were all part of the same team.
They get a chance to move, they get a chance to feel the chair, they get a chance to talk to the athletes.
The elementary students traded their running shoes for wheels in order to understand what it's like to compete with a physical disability.
And that, I think, opens up their eyes about what's possible. It helps break down the barriers of their perception of people with disabilities, and it helps break down the barriers of even sport.
Students like Addie relay race through the school gym. I made it. And learn tips and tricks from para-athletes themselves.
So remember that, grab that wheel.
Like that.
Doesn't matter which way I turn. Doesn't matter.
By the time class was finished, the students walked away with new heroes and a new understanding of the talent and determination these para-athletes possess.
They get just a huge opportunity to connect and realize that people are people and athletes are athletes.
In Spokane, Allison Martinez, 4 News Now.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
It's a contentious election, often not suitable for young eyes and ears.
Kids are very much paying attention to politics.
And political messages can show up in unexpected places.
That, to me, was really shocking.
Why are kids so tuned in, and which family members could be influencing them more than you know?
I don't think parents would necessarily expect that.
How can you help your kids feel safe?
What is a healthy way to discuss politics with your child?
Watch Thursday on 4 News Now at 6.
As county sheriff, I know Al French is the only candidate who fully supports our local law enforcement.
As a mayor of Medical Lake, I'm confident that Al French is the only candidate with a real plan for affordable housing and clean drinking water.
As the mayor of Airway Heights, I trust that Al French is the only candidate that will keep taxes low and support small businesses.
I trust Al to make our community safer.
And good paying jobs.
And to keep Spokane County affordable.
I'm Al French, and I'm running to get results for you.
When you have moderate to severe eczema, it's okay to show off. With Dupixent, show off your clearer skin and less itch. Because you have plenty of reasons to show off your skin. With Dupixent, the #1 prescribed biologic by dermatologists and allergists, you can stay ahead of your eczema. It helps block a key source of inflammation inside the body that can cause eczema to help heal your skin from within. Many adults saw 90% clearer skin. Some even achieved long-lasting clearer skin and fast itch relief after first dose. Serious allergic reactions can occur that can be severe. Tell your doctor about new or worsening eye problems, such as eye pain or vision changes, including blurred vision, joint aches and pain, or a parasitic infection. Don't change or stop asthma medicines without talking to your doctor. Show off to the world. Ask your eczema specialist about Dupixent.
Out here, we have an independent streak. We want the government to stay out of our business. That's what freedom is. A woman's private medical decisions should be between her and her doctor. Michael Baumgartner has a long record of opposing abortion in almost all cases, even when a woman is raped. He'd let states restrict access to birth control and fertility treatments. I'm Carmela Conroy. I approve this message because our freedoms are at stake.
4 News Now is brought to you by Mysticwa Casino Hotel in Chewelah.
Coming up tonight on Nightside, 3 college roommates decided to take matters into their own hands when they chased down a suspected porch pirate. We'll have the confrontation caught on camera and what people should really do in this type of situation. That's tonight at 11.
All right, taking a look at that 7-day forecast, and as Chris was saying, that rain's going to roll in about 24 hours from now, and then, yeah, it's going to stick around for a while.
It's not going anywhere, and the little black cat is just sitting there on Halloween.
Hey, real quick, props to Kirsten. She operated Advance all of Chris's graphics while she was out live at Fred's Appliance.